שלום וברכה מוריי ורבותיי, שלום וברכה בעזרת השם בזכות הצדיק רבי חיים פינטו, שהיום יום הילולתו, שהקדוש ברוך הוא בעזרת השם יברך את כל הקהילה ואת כל הקהל הקדוש בברכה והצלחה ובסייעתא דשמיא הגדולה. מה קדם וברכתה וזה כי אתה זכות הצדיק רבי חיים פינטו, שהקדוש ברוך הוא בעזרת השם this week will open up שערי פרנסה, שערי שלווה ושערי בריאות ושערי תורה ושערי תשובה ושערי אורה ושערי שמחה, ושהקדוש ברוך הוא בעזרת השם will spill שפע בלידי על כל בעזרת השם הצדיקים, ושהקדוש ברוך הוא בעצם יגאל אותנו will redeem us from all our personal problems and personal redemption and a redemption for all כלל עם ישראל. Amen. You know, but today, Baruch Hashem, it is the Hillulah of our great grandfather Rabbi chaim Pinto Hakatan, the second Rabbi chaim Pinto. And now, there's something very, very unique with both Rabbi chaim Pintos that we celebrate, not too far one from the other. We see that there is a big koach, a big ashpa, a big ability of both of these tzaddikim, specifically also the tzaddik that today we're celebrating his Hillulah, of doing miracles. Miracles when he was alive, where there are books of stories of nisim and niflot that occurred when Rabbi chaim Pinto was walking the earth. And even after he passed away, till today, we see hundreds of miracles every single year occur from people praying in the mirror to the tzaddik, or praying for Yeshuot, or praying that the tzaddik will do something to change their state or change their fate and create a better place for themselves. So now, but the question we always ask ourselves every year is, why do some tzaddikim have an extra koach, an extra ability to help Am Yisrael and to bring miracles upon Am Yisrael, and other tzaddikim much less? And not to say that Chas v'Shalom some tzaddikim are bigger than the other. We have no clue in that world. But some tzaddikim that are from extremely high statues, we don't see their involvement in their name, and you could even call it reputation, like these specific tzaddikim that poel Yeshuot, like Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Rabbi Baal HaNes was a time like all the other tzaddikim. But Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, we see that there is an involvement with Am Yisrael in a way that not all the Tanaim are. And the same thing could be said about Rabbi chaim Pinto. Many tzaddikim were big, but we see that there are some tzaddikim that have an ability to act and to create miracles within HaKadosh Baruch Hu's children. Why is that? So now, what the Zohar HaKadosh says, that the tzaddikim, they are compared to what? Tzaddikim are compared to what sphira, to what concept or what existence? Yesod. Well, what is the Yesod? We call the Yesod tzaddik, Yesod, Olam. What does that mean? It means that the tzaddik, it is the Yesod. What is the Yesod? The Zohar HaKadosh says, the Yesod is the bridge that attaches our world, or the Malchut, the bottom world, to the world above. Where, like everything in life, when there is something that is separate one from the other, and that is not connected or not united, you need to have some sort of form of connecting, some sort of bridge, some sort of elevator, some sort of pipe that puts both of them in an aspect that they could be one in a specific place, at least. Zohar HaKadosh said that the Yesod is that bridge. It's something we've spoken about many times in the past. Friday, today, is Yesod. Where Friday is the bridge between Kodesh and Chol. It's the bridge between the day of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Shekhinah conquering the world, and Chol, a weekday where HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes a little bit of a step back and lets us go run and work. What puts them together? The Yesod, the Malchut. The Yesod that attach the Malchut and those who are above. Chazal teach us that the job of the tzaddikim is also to act as a Yesod, which is a Yesod, like we mentioned, is what? It's a bridge. A bridge in what? A bridge between us and between HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sometimes, Rabotai, we feel that it's a little bit hard to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Melech Ma'achem Melachim, King of all kings. So we use the tzaddik, or we use our ancestors to make that distance much further, to connect that bridge between where we are in a dark world to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that is in the Olamot Ha'elyunim. The secret is that every single tzaddik didn't just work on the same bridge. The secret is that we see that many tzaddikim throughout their life paced a certain path, walked in a certain direction, led in a certain direction. Some tzaddikim, it was with specific mitzvot. Some tzaddikim it was with different attributes, different midot. And they held that midot and they ran with it to the end. Like what? Like Avraham. Avraham, Chesed, Yitzchak, Gvura, Yaakov, Tiferet, etc. Each tzaddik represented a certain aspect and a certain tzina, a certain existence. Or in other words, created a certain bridge. And that bridge is a bridge that we could walk on the path that our ancestors paved, that the tzaddikim built, in order to connect ourselves in that certain way, in that certain place. And that Rabbi is something we can apply for all the tzaddikim. All the tzaddikim, they specialize and they dedicate their life in a specific aspect in the world, in their life in the Torah. That aspect is the bridge that they built. So how did all this connect to Rabbi chaim Pinto? We know Rabbi chaim Pinto had two things. First of all, he was a judge, where he would do judgments. Second of all, he was known to be Ish Chesed, where his day was split to half the day. He was acting as Bet Din, as a court in Jewish law, and the other half, he would go around collecting food, collecting money. There's so many stories that he would knock on people's doors and say, "You have 2 breads in the oven, give me 1. You have 5 pieces of meat in the pot, give me 2 for that poor man." And like that, he would prepare people to give by showing them some kedusha and some ruach hakodesh that he had. And that was how he split his life: judgment, judging, and complete chesed. He said, maybe we can say Abotai that Rabbi chaim Pinto paved 2 paths for us. He paves the path where we say, a tzaddik gozer ve'Hashem mekayem. The tzaddik has the ability to make a judgment. We can do a gzera, a decree, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu needs to follow that decree. If the tzaddik says that man needs to have a child and he's trying to have a child, Ritzon Yarav Yaseh. The will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the tzaddik must fulfill. Or if the tzaddik comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, tells HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that man is sick, he needs to find health. If it's a gzera and it's a decree like a judge, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has no place, he needs to fulfill it. Rabbi chaim Pinto had the act of making judgments, putting new realities to existence with his koach of din that he had, of like a judgment that he had. And on the other side, he devoted his life to do what? To help one another. Anyone that needs whatever he needs, he was there to help and to give. We know about that we say, Gedolim tzadikim b'mitatam ha'asher mechayim. Tzadikim are much bigger with it when they are no longer alive than when they are alive. If Rabbi chaim Pinto acted in both of these attributes all his years, we could be sure that he's continuing to act in these attributes, but at a much higher scale, at a much bigger scale. So that is why, Rabbi, it's so important to really take advantage of today. To scream in the mirror to tzaddik, to light candles in the mirror to tzaddik, to shake the ground, that in the mirror to the tzaddik we will all be redeemed from all what we need to be redeemed, and that in the mirror to the tzaddik will do a gzera, he will make a decree. And these decrees will be decrees that he will be able to help all Klal Am Yisrael and all what their heart desires and all what they need in their life. So Be'ezrat Hashem, זכות הצדיק רבי chaim Pinto, הקדוש ברוך הוא יחדש לנו את השנה הזאת לטובה ולברכה, ישועה ונחמה, פרנסה וכלכלה, ושהשנה הקדוש ברוך הוא יגאל אותנו בכל הגאולות, גאולות פרטיות וגאולות של כל כלל עם ישראל, אמן כן יהיה רצון בעזרת השם.